out the way, the arguments out the way early, because this month I decided to start watching a couple of Rachel's favourite ever shows. I'm going to start off with one of her favourite comedies ever, which is, of course, Scrubs. So, yay. I've only seen 7 episodes, but I think that's enough to gauge a sort of a thing. Mm-hmm. And as I was predicting, I absolutely hate this show.
No! How? What is wrong with you? Oh, my God.
It infuriated me from moment go. I just wanted to slap everybody on screen. The lead character, who you seem to love, I thought was the smuggest, most annoying person ever. I think it's partly Zach Braff.
I know you don't like Zach Braff. I get that.
Well, I think, first of all, he's a pretty wooden actor.
Let's hear the rest of his argument.
Yeah, but I didn't watch it, Cindy, anyway.
That's true.
At the time, so annoying from the word off, the way he talks, the way he acts. As I said, Zach Braff is quite wooden, and what I always get from Zach Braff is obnoxious sort of frat boy guy. And so I think he's totally wrong to play who is meant to be this wet behind the ears, quite nervous. But the idea is he's meant to be quite charming. I think he's totally wrong to play that. And the way he talks about the female nurse who he's interested in from the word go is pretty disgusting, really.
Oh, but Elliot's a doctor.
No, I mean the girl that he fancies, the blonde-haired nurse.
Yeah, that's Elliot. She's a doctor.
Okay, I don't know why she's got a man's name, but okay. But no, here's the problem with it, apart from the fact that I don't like him. And I can understand you've said he gets character development and I can already see that, because like him making the choice to be her friend rather than just keep pursuing her. So I can already see that, but that doesn't matter to me because I hated him from the word go. So it doesn't really make a difference. But the other thing is, it falls into this sort of comedy where immediately it's trying to hit you with the quirk factor. Like, it's trying to be this very quirky, almost like magical, like indie offbeat style show. And the problem with that is, if it works, it really works, and I'll probably like really love it the way you do. But if it doesn't work, it just seems like the most forced, contrived thing ever. So like the musical montages, things like that, I just find so forced, and I don't even know why they're funny. Telegraphed. And I don't like things that are that telegraphed. I don't like things that are signposted in such ways where they hit you over the head. It's like, now we're doing a musical montage. Now we're doing something quirky. We're doing like surgeons singing in the middle of like surgery. And it just hits you over the head with it, like to the point where it's telling me this is the bit I should laugh. This is the bit I should be charmed. And I just think it overdoes it. I think the best comedy is sometimes comedy where the scene plays out in a natural way and the joke works because the joke works. And it works because the actors are good and they know how to deliver lines. But this doesn't give the actors the chance to do that. It doesn't give the joke the chance to work because it hits you over the head with, well, they're doing a funny dance, or they're doing a funny song, or they're doing some wacky thing, which doesn't really make that much sense anyway. And I think that's the problem, is they overdo each gag. See why that's sort of funny, but if you cut away now, it would be funny. But you're lingering on it for too long, or you just, the sound effects drive me nuts. Like, you'll just get like cartoony sound effects that are just so forced and they just annoy me. I don't know what, like, you just have a sound effect for no reason. And they think it's so witty and clever, and it's really not. There's no charm to this show.
My God.
And it's barely funny. Like, so far.
Oh, that is not true.
No,
that is just not true. I think you've just gone in with like this. I think you've gone in with this wall up in your brain, which is like, no, I will not enjoy any moment of this show at all. I mean, this is such a critically highly acclaimed show, and I just
fine, and people are wrong, in my opinion.
Oh, yes, everyone out there who's praised this show is wrong.
It's not everybody. I've heard people knock it.
Cindy agrees with me. I love Scrubs, but JD is super annoying.
There you go. So he half agrees with me.
You know what, Sean? I'm not going to disagree. Like, JD definitely has moments where he is super annoying, but I think I find Zach Braff a little bit more charming than Keith does, so I don't mind. Like Judy Reyes, and I like to see that she's getting like more work, especially being a Latina actress. You know, it's always good to see actresses of color get more work, so I'll have to check that one out.
I will say, even though I don't like the show, she is one of the better things about it. I do. Yeah. I enjoy her performance. She's really not. She's really not.
See? Okay. Yeah. I've hit an episode that most people do tend to agree is the point at which people started to say, okay, Scrubs can actually be a decent show. And that is My Old Lady. So that's the episode with Catherine Justin, where JD starts by talking about how 1 out of 3 patients will die. And then you see Elliot, JD, and Turk each have their own patient. And then, spoiler alert for anyone watching, at the end of the episode, all 3 patients end up dying. And they have that beautiful montage with Hallelujah playing over the top. Did you at least find like that sort of episode? Did that work for you? Because Scrubs is quite praised for being able to do those sorts of episodes where they can bring in the more serious angle and mix it with the comedy, or did it not work for you?
In the best episode of what I've seen, it probably is that. And it's simply because I love Catherine Juster, and she being in those scenes makes Zach Braff better than he actually is, basically. The stuff with like the more sentimental, the more like serious type thing, I can appreciate them trying to do that. And I think that again falls into them trying to be like an indie style thing. But I can appreciate them doing that. And that's something I do appreciate with comedy. I think there should be a room for more serious things, because MASH is a classic example of that. But I think the problem is that no, I didn't really get on board with that stuff. And the reason is because I didn't like the show from the word go. And I think to make those moments work, you have to find the comedy funny, because it's then the balance of that, where those more serious moments mean more if you like the comedy and you get into the characters from the start. I just find the characters annoying from the start. So that's...
Are you going to keep watching, or are you going to tap out?
I'll keep watching, because I think it's only 7 episodes out of... It's 9 seasons, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but don't watch the 9th season. If you do continue, do not watch the 9th season. It's not even technically a proper season. Just don't do it.
Well, there's a good chance the way it's going, I wouldn't get that far anyway. But
just because if you were thinking of tapping out, there was going to be 1 episode that I was going to tell you to watch, and if you don't if you watch this particular episode and you still don't see any merit in the show, then there is no hope for you. Because there is 1 episode in season 3 that is praised above every other episode. It is fan-freaking-tastic, and I was going to tell you to watch it if you were going to tap out. But if you're going to keep going, just remember we're in season 1. This show did start in the late 90s/early 2000s, so it is a little bit rough. Just let's see how it goes.
I didn't find any of it funny. Like,
okay.
Obviously, you throw enough stuff at the wall, something's going to hit. But it's like, so far out of 7 episodes, I would say I've got a couple of genuine laughs and then a few chuckles, and that's about it. And that's not good enough for 7 episodes. It's more than 1 great episode to make a show.
Oh, no, definitely. I just wanted to point out that, we are in the first season and it will get better, and there are episodes that will reach those heights. Cindy, I think most sitcoms have rough first seasons. I mean, some of them do. Some of them, I find first seasons can be the best, but I do think that Scrubs does start a little rough, especially the pilot episode is a bit rough. Like, you can definitely tell that they filmed it ahead of time. And I will admit, it took me a little bit of time to get into Scrubs too, because the first episode that Steven ever showed me was from season 5, and it was it was not a great episode.
Right.
But yeah, so just stick with it. Because season 1, when it comes to Scrubs, I would say season 2 definitely improves upon season 1, and so does season 3. You have some fantastic guest stars that will come into the series. Are there any characters that you don't hate, or that you could see yourself coming to like?
Well, as I said, the Judy Reyes, it could be more the performance, because I think she is a good actress from what I can tell, and I don't mind the character too much, but and the other one, this is a bit of a random one. I don't know what you think about him, but I actually find the janitor quite funny.
I love the janitor.
Yeah.
Janitor is the best. He is one of the best characters in the show, and he is so much fun. And they give him more leeway as the series goes on, so he becomes a lot funnier.
Yeah, he's quite deadpan, which I quite enjoy, and he's got that rivalry from the off with the Zach Braff character.
Yeah.
So that's quite good fun. Yeah, Cindy agrees. Janitor is great.
Janitor is great.
An easy watch, so I'll keep watching. It's good background, Rachel. I'll say that.
My friendship is on shaky ground at the moment, people. So.